going to cover how to get into the scooter, the first part, and then we'll talk about switching this out. But to get inside, you're going to have a sticker on top here. You don't have to remove the whole thing like in this case, but just peel back the edges to access these screw points. These two up here at the top, they do not have an opposing nut on the bottom like the rest of them do. These just screw straight out of the chassis. There's several methods and tools you can use to accomplish this job. I use a drill, but I have to get into these quite often. But all you need is an Allen hex here. The size that I have here is a 4. And then I use also to kind of speed up the task, if you have access to it, a ratchet with a size 10. So I will put the hex down and then use the ratchet on the opposing side to resist the nut and then back it out. Some of them are a little bit, see if I can describe this. There's not a lot of room with the lip that's underneath the scooter, but it's still very doable. It's just a matter of when you put the hex in, if you kind of just tilt the head a little bit, it'll take the bottom and push the nut away from the body just enough to get the ratchet on. So it's more of just like a technique thing there to make it a little bit easier. And then actually that's the true of all of them. Some of them are easier than others, but they're definitely manageable. And then the one new thing that we have to address is because scooters are now being ridden more in inclement weather because people are commuting with them, we've decided to put a weather sealant around the deck here. So to deal with that, once you get the screws off, you're going to find that it's still kind of tricky to get the deck off. So what you can do for that is either a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips would probably work too, or a small pry bar. And what I do is I go to this spot right here where the shock is mounted. There's a nice lip. And so I'll put the head of the screwdriver right down there and then lift the handle up. And you'll hear it start to pry away. And once you get it started, then you'll just kind of work your way forward and then you should be good to go. Once the scooter is open, you're going to see a nest of wires. I wouldn't let that intimidate you. I will say never do work on anything electrical if you're not comfortable doing it. That kind of is a given, but it's quite manageable. So once you're inside here, you want to make sure, of course, you have nothing plugged in on the side. And then when you're doing any work, the first thing you want to do is unplug this yellow connector right here. That's the main feed from the battery. Please note, when you plug this back in, it is going to spark. That's totally normal. It's because it's a free-flowing electron battery like any other battery, whereas at a switch situation on a wall outlet, you're killing power. This is your kind of pseudo switch in this case at this point in electrical chain.